Currently, our main guest, the President of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa. Thank you very much. This day is very short. It's not for us to make long speeches. We've been able to brief the leadership. Mine is just to welcome you here and so that we can allow the President to speak to us. And then from here, we will be moving to our second venue, which is literally 5 minutes from here. The only one thing that I want to say, Mr. President, is that you coming to the red laying of the city has got a special memory for us in the city. Last year when you came on the 27th of October, we whispered something to your ears about the University of Science and Technology. And 4 months later, we heard you in the chambers of Parliament pronouncing that there will be a University of Science and Technology here. And we hope that as you come here, when we whisper something to you about the Erythropolis that we are already undertaking, you will be whispering in the chambers about the Erythropolis and what we are able to achieve as one of your babies in this administration. I'm not going to be long because I don't want to take words from your mouth. I want to say to all of you, you are welcome, and to thank all the councillors that have worked with us to ensure that we are able to deliver this. And lastly, to thank Minister Razzmatazz. When we came here to do the sword turning, it was just the 3 or 4 of us. He didn't believe it, thought there is why Uqalil. But I'm sure today he will see what we've been doing. Thank you very much to each and every one of you who have made it possible. You are all welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Executive Mayor. Without any waste of time, let me call upon our MEC for Education, representing the Premier of the Gauteng Province, is Mr. Panyaza Lusufi. Just short remarks. If he's not here, let's move. Remarks by our Ambassador, Thembi Tambo, on behalf of the Tambo family.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As Sis Pat said, my job here today is to simply give the vote of thanks. I won't take up much time, but I would like to acknowledge the presence of our wonderful President Cyril Ramaphosa, who has done us an ordinate privilege in coming to be here to see the unveiling of the statue. Thank you so much, Mr. President, for giving us your time today. It's massively, massively appreciated. I'd also like to acknowledge our ministers, Minister Mtetwa, our Minister of Transport. Who else can I see there? I'm sorry, even with glasses on, I'm blind. I can see, obviously, the Executive Mayor and all the councillors and members of Ekululeni who have come here, who've worked on this project. Thank you so much. So to go through the list, I of course must first start with our Executive Mayor. Without his engagement and presence in this, I don't think we would be standing here today. Thank you, Councillor Mzwandile Masina. I'd also, of course, like to thank Councillor Dora Mlambo. Again, a great mover and shaker in Ekululeni. And I'm not surprised to see that she has moved to a new dispensation here. The head of department of the City of Ekululeni, Department of Sports, Recreation, Arts and Culture, Ms. Zanele Tembo. The divisional head of Arts, Culture, Heritage, Ms. Nontutuzelo Sipambo. The project manager, Mr. Offense Mlambo, and all the officials and staff of the City of Ekululeni. Of course, we have to thank the airports company. Just to say very quickly, all this where we are today started with the then executive mayor, Juma Nkosi, who was determined to see this airport renamed after our father, relentlessly so. And so we started there in 2006. This whole OR Tambo project then has spanned 3 presidents to date. And under President Cyril Ramaphosa, we see the latest reiteration of the honouring of Oliver Tambo. So thank you so much to the airports company for their efforts, for all the work that they've done. The Executive Committee of AXA, including the Chief Executive Officer, Ms. Mpumi Mpofu, the Chief Operations Officer, Ms. Fundi Sitebe, the General Manager of the OR International Airport, Group Executive Governance and Assurance, Ms. Bongiwe Pichwi Bokwana, and the engineers, Molafifi Mswetsni and Edward Kotsia. Now we come to the production team, the people who actually put this whole massive statue together. And I must start, of course, with my brilliant brother, the CEO of Koketso Growth, Dali Tambo. Stand up. I'm sure there's nobody here who doesn't know you, but just in case. And then I'd also like to play a special tribute to the artists who actually have spent so much time, so much love, dedication, have shown such excellence in creating this statue. Tanya Lee, Christina Salvaldi, Longisa Kala, are you here? Could you please come up and make yourselves known? Okay, let's give them a hand. Thank you for everything. Thank you so much for your excellent work. In concluding then, I would like to thank the structural engineer, Michael Makubela, the building contractor, Samson Maziduma, and the loading contractor, Ndivuo Lefoswa. And I think that, not to take up any more time, everybody knows I can talk the hind legs off a donkey, but on this occasion I will cede, and thank you so much again for your presence today.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Tembi Tambo. MEC Panyaza Lusufi is here, just short remarks. He's here representing our Premier of the Gauteng province. Just short remarks.
Thanks so much, Program Director. Let me acknowledge the President and all Cabinet Ministers. Apologies that I was joining you late. We were notified this morning to come and represent the Premier. The Premier didn't feel well this morning, and he asked us to come and represent him. Indeed, it was well captured by the previous speaker. I know I was still a young boy when we took a resolution to rename this area as OR Tambo Airport. It was a resolution of a regional conference, and indeed, we implemented that resolution. What we didn't know then, President, was that when we pushed for renaming of this airport, we'll receive insults. We're told that aeroplanes will get lost when we change the name, and that it will cost us lots and lots of money to change the signage of the roads, stationaries, and everything, and that it will cost lots and lots of money. And we said there's no amount of money that is equal to the name Oliver Reginald Tambo. And we're indeed humbled, Executive Mayor of Ekurhuleni, that you stood firm, we stood until where we are now. And all of us, we are proud that we have this name, and we are indeed humbled that we are going to unveil this statue in his honor. We always said, and I always say to students, the history of this country is incomplete without the name Oliver Reginald Tambo. The history of our revolution is incomplete without the name Oliver Reginald Tambo. So to the family and everyone that made it possible for us to come here this morning to unveil this statue, we are indeed grateful, and we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you on behalf of the Gauteng Provincial Government. Oliver Tambo is us, and we'll continue to honor him, to salute him, and to thank him, especially on this day, the 27th of October. Thank you so much, Program Director.
Thank you very much, MEC Siyabulela. Let me take this opportunity and call upon our Minister, Fikile Mbalula, to come to the podium. He knows what his mandate is. Razmat, vote.
Thank you, Program Director. The President of the Republic, the Mayor of Eguruleni, the Tambo family, Oliver Tambo, great thinker, unifying force, diplomat par excellence, revolutionary to the end. And the story of Oliver Tambo will be told. Young people will learn generation after generation. From this airport, they will be reminded about this great thinker of our nation. And today we say, like Svata, the unknown poet of our revolution, will say, there is no grave big enough to bury you, African elephant. Oliver Tambo lives, and today we are here. And we are very proud of this work, because OR Tambo was an outstanding individual in the struggle for freedom in our country. My task is to introduce to you the person who needs no introduction, the President of the Republic, Ntate Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa. The President is a skillful negotiator. He is known for his negotiating skills, which brought about freedom in our country and a new constitution that we celebrate today. The President is a trade unionist. He's an intellectual in his own right, and is methodological in how we execute. You can only see at the end that there was deep thinking in whatever he does. He's a man who's leading in a very difficult period, and I normally say, President, in a risk of being accused of singing for my supper. You are the president of this country, among many presidents who have done so well for our country. But you are one who is leading in a very difficult period. None of our presidents ever faced a pandemic, and you did. And we tell you today that you executed your mandate quite well with the people of the Republic and everyone else around you. South Africa is blessed to have you as the president. Like the old song will say, throwing a good love away, you might not know it now, but you'll know it someday. And you are that lover that South Africa must pride itself of in you, Mr. President. And with those few words, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, the Tambo family, I call upon the President of the Republic, Cyril Ramaphosa. Thank you very much.
Let's be. microphones. I rise to thank the program director, but also the Tambo family, as represented here by our honored departed leader, OR Tambo, by son and daughter, but more especially by the grandchildren. I'd like to thank the executive mayor of Ekurhuleni, Councillor Ndandile Masina, the ministers who are here to grace this occasion, Minister of Transport, who they call Razmataz, Balula, and Minister of Sports and Culture, Minister Mtetwa. I also want to greet the Provincial Secretary of the governing party, Secretary Kawe. I extend my greetings to the leadership of AXA, the leadership of various entities that were responsible to erect this memento. It is indeed a privilege to be here on this historic occasion. In many, many ways, it is a historic occasion, as MEC Panyaza, representing the Premier, was saying. As many of us will know, every year during October, we pay due tribute to OR Tambo, one of the finest and most outstanding leaders and visionaries of our country. We pay tribute to him because of who he was and the contribution that he made towards creating this South Africa that we now live in today. It is true that we cannot talk about South Africa today in terms of what we have achieved where we are without inserting in bold letters the name Oliver Reginald Tambo, a man who dedicated his life to the people of South Africa and to the achievement of our democracy. He led the struggle for freedom in the very difficult days and dark days of the struggle and overcame enormous challenges and difficulties. He spent through the 3 decades in exile working tirelessly to forge international support against apartheid in support of the anti-apartheid struggle. To the world, OR Tambo was the voice of South Africa's liberation movement. And that is why it was important to rename this airport to be OR Tambo, because being the largest airport in our country and the busiest, it was important that he should be the symbol of South Africa to the world. He articulated the aspirations of every South African, man, woman, and child who yearned for freedom. And his name, in the end, was known widely around the world, in London, in New York, in Accra, in Lagos, in Nairobi, in Addis Ababa, in Moscow, you name any place in the world, the name OR Tambo was known. I was delighted to see the architects of this statue, because in many ways, having created this symbol, this statue, they have been the architects of the symbol OR Tambo. But OR Tambo was the architect of our freedom. And thanks to his activism, people living in these distant lands got to know of our struggle and gladly joined it. It is therefore most fitting that this statue that will be erected here at this airport, at the airport that is named after him, is going to be the gateway to the continent and to the world. As people who come to visit our country take their first steps on South African soil, they will see this magnificent bronze statue gleaming in the South African sunlight. This statue in many ways is a colossus. I'm told that it is 9 meters high. It is a well-constructed statue, and it is a colossus, as was the man it commemorates, as was the man it symbolizes. It stands as a symbol of our triumph as a nation over injustice, thanks to the actions of good, brave and principled men and women like Oliver Reginald Tambo. What does it symbolize? It does not only symbolize OR Tambo, it symbolizes courage. It symbolizes integrity. It symbolizes tenacity. It symbolizes freedom. But it symbolizes a nation that is united in moving forward to the development that OR Tambo wanted to see. Executive Mayor Masina, I'm particularly pleased to see that the book that OR Tambo carries is the Freedom Charter. That, to me, is possibly the most pleasing aspect of this statue. I haven't seen the face, but I'm sure the face is as handsome as OR Tambo was. But the important thing for me is that Freedom Charter that he holds in his hand. Yes, this is a project that has been long in the making, and I want to congratulate the city of Ekurhuleni for your persistence in bringing it to fruition. Mayor Masina, you are a big dreamer. You are a big-ticket man. You whispered that you wanted a university of science and technology, and we duly committed the nation's resources that we should have this university. You want to build a major city around here, and yes, that dream will also be fulfilled. It is pleasing, it is truly pleasing that having talked about the dreams that I had about building new cities are springing all over the show. And it is good to dream. And you this morning said, you just don't want to be dreaming, you want actuality. And today, you are representing that actuality through this statue. This statue forms part of Ekurhuleni's bold vision to see our country's liberation history prominently displayed in the province's tourism hub. We want, yes, to see a big tourism hub created here, but we also want to see an education hub. We want to see a manufacturing hub. We want to see an industrial hub here as well. Like the statue of President Mandela at the Union Buildings in Tshwane, I have no doubt that this one too will become a major tourist attraction. And I'm pleased that you have put it here, almost at the center of the airport buildings. and it is going to be indeed a magnet, and that it will become an essential stop for visitors to OR Tambo Cultural Precinct, which is doing so much to preserve the legacy of our great leader. Allow me then to conclude by thanking all those who have made this day possible: the architects, the designers, the Airports Company of South Africa, the national and provincial departments of transport, the Gauteng provincial government, and above all, the city of Ekurhuleni. I was pleased to hear that the Minister of Transport did give permission for this to go ahead, and the Minister Mteto of Arts and Culture and Sports also did that. You're very lucky. Sometimes they withhold their permission. You're very lucky, Executive Mayor, they did so. Sometimes they don't permit me to do certain things. I want to thank the Tambo family for their cooperation and assistance with this project, a project that honors their father and grandfather. In erecting this statue, we affirm the great importance of preserving our heritage for the benefit of future generations. That is why I'm particularly pleased that OR Tambo's family has brought the grandchildren here as well. They too will be able to bring their children and their grandchildren and their grandchildren thereafter. So will we all. But we are also telling the world that we have not forgotten our heroes. We remember them, we want their stories to be known, but we also want their lives to inspire and encourage all of us as we strive for a better world as we move ahead. This is an exciting project. Some may be wanting to be critical of what it cost. The amount of money this project cost is far, far minuscule than what OR Tambo represented, but also far more minuscule when you compare it to what is going to be created here. Here we are building the South Africa of our dreams. The developments that are going to flow from here are quite exciting. And we would like to thank the provincial government, would like to thank the metropolitan government for the dreams that they have for this place. And I'm glad, Mayor Masina, that you have put OR Tambo at the center of those dreams, because indeed he has inspired many dreams that we are living out today. And we strengthen you and we wish you the very best as you continue to build this place up to be a greatly developed place, a place where we'll be able to create jobs, a place where we will be able to develop our nation. As we continue to get to grips with COVID-19, I'm pleased that you have not stopped the developments that are going to take place here. So I wish you strength and thank you very much for honoring us by inviting us to be here. Long live Oliver Tambo, long live.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our President, Siyabulela. Now the time has come that we unveil the statue. I would request the following people to come to the podium. Our President, Minister Mbalula, and the Executive Mayor of the city of Ekurhuleni to actually come and unveil the statue. And Minister Mbalula is going to read what is written on the statue.
No.
COVID. 1, 2. Yeah.
Mama uzoshara nominister Mbaluli mic yakho makazofunda iplug. Bengizoyisanitizer leyo. But it's not supposed to.
Don't worry, we are reminded that we're living in the COVID-19 pandemic. That is the face mask.
Can we continue?
Can we continue with the plug? Because it's going to take a long time. Yeah, it's going to take longer. Thank you very much. Our minister is going to read the plug because it's going to take longer to remove the face mask. Sound.
One, two. OR Tambo statue in the city of Ekurhuleni was officially opened by His Excellency Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa, on the 27th October 2020.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Happy birthday, President Oliver Tambo. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we sing happy birthday? One. Happy birthday, Skulele. Councillor Bale.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Oliver Tambo. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. We may be seated and let us get member of the mayoral committee, Councillor Nomadlozi Nkosi, to give us a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Program Director, Alderman Patricia Khumalo. It is indeed a great day in the city of Ekurhuleni. We came a long way for this statue to be here today. Want to thank the President of the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency, Tata Cyril Ramaphosa, Minister Nathi Mthethwa, Minister Fikile Mbalula, Executive Mayor of the City of Ekurhuleni, Councillor Mzwandile Masina, City Manager of the City of Ekurhuleni, Dr. Imogen Mashazi, the Tambo family, the Provincial Secretary of the African National Congress in Gauteng, Tata Jacob Kawe, all the guests present here today. Want to thank each and every one of you to come and grace this beautiful occasion of the opening of the statue of our hero, Utata Oliver Tambo. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, MMC. We have come to the end of our session this morning. I want to borrow from Utata Nelson Mandela, his tribute to this giant that is here. He says, let all of us who live say that while we live, the ideals for which Oliver Tambo lived, sacrificed, and died will not die. With those few words, this session has been adjourned. We're moving to Wardville. There's another session that is going to come. Those of us...
The mayor's going to give the statue to the president.
Okay. Executive Mayor, we request our president to please...
This is the mayor's.
Yes. We request the president to come and receive the gift. And it's both the executive mayor of the OR Tambo District Municipality and the Executive Mayor of the City of Ekurhuleni. Okay. Let me call the following leaders of political parties in council. Yes. Yeah. Okay. No. Alderman Berg, Alderman Alkongobese, Councillor Dino Peterson, Councillor Gogian. Please make it snappy. The president is leaving. And the rest of us, let's move to Woodville. The rest of us, we're moving to Woodville. Yeah. Can we move to Woodville, Abanye? So only those who are supposed to be here, they know themselves.
Can we? Ish.